Have you guys seen the debate on TikTok about whether or not the average man would beat the average dog in a fight to the death? There's been constant fucking debate on TikTok about whether or not the average person would beat the average dog in a fight. And some people, specifically guys, are very confident that they could beat damn near every dog in a fight to the death, which I think is idiotic. And this is why. Well, we're going to get into it. But this is coming from somebody that used to think I could kill a silverback gorilla with a Bowie knife. There's a clip of me 2-3 years ago genuinely saying that I could beat a gorilla in a fight to the death. No part of me believes that now. I realize genuinely that I would die to any gorilla in any fight to the death. Even if they were like 3 months old, they would probably kill me. Once they're big enough to match my weight. Anyways, the argument or the hypothetical in this debate varies depending on the TikTok that you're watching. Some people give the hypothetical that you're both blood hungry and you're fighting to the death. You have no fear. There's no backing out in this challenge, right? You're not gonna have fight or flight. You're only fight. And same with the dog. You're gonna battle each other to the fucking, gruesome end. What do you guys think? Do you guys think you could beat the average dog in a fight to the death? I have a whole presentation planned for this, by the way. I have notes that I've written down. I'm very excited to talk about this. It's going to be a 20-minute thing, and then we're going to get into Last of Us. Yeah, most of you guys are saying you could beat the average dog in a fight. Now, I'm going to narrow down this hypothetical slightly. I think that in this scenario, most people talk about bred dogs by humans and their capacity to fight humans, right? They always use the word sidekick. It's always some dumb sitting in his car going, "You're gonna let your sidekick beat you in a fight to the death?" Yes, okay? The average dog is likely beating you in a fight because the average dog that you would proclaim as a sidekick is not a Chihuahua, a White Terrier, a French Bulldog, a Beagle, an English Bulldog, or a Poodle. The average dog is around a Labrador Dalmatian size. Obviously, yes, you're beating. This is a pointless argument to have if you're going to make a fucking 3-minute TikTok rant about how you would beat the piss out of a French Bulldog. Yeah, I would kick the fuck out of it. It would die instantly. They're not bred to fight. They're lap dogs. They're terrible for survival. They have breathing problems. Their eyes pop out of their head. No shit you're going to beat one of those in a fight, idiot. And no one's claiming that anyone's going to lose to that, right? It's not a fair matchup by any means. And the same thing on the opposite end, there are people that are going, "Oh, well, if you're fighting a Great Dane or a Kangal or an Irish Wolfhound on this end, that's also not an average dog." We're going to get into both of those scenarios, but I would say the average human fighting the average dog is a matchup of a 5'10" man, average human in the world, weighing 180 pounds, or the average woman, 5'5", weighing 140 pounds, versus the average dog, which I would say in this hypothetical, perfect average dog. What do you think of when you think of a dog? A Labrador. A Labrador, a Golden Retriever. Medium weight, medium size, average dog, okay? That when you think of a dog, you're thinking of a Golden, you're thinking of a Lab. A dog that is anywhere between 40 and 80 pounds and generally, capable of surviving in the wild. I'm fine with you using the term sidekick, but for this hypothetical, we have to presume that this dog is able to survive on its own. Through us selectively breeding them, it has not lost its ability to live on its own in the wilderness. And the majority, not all, yes, there are beagles, which are like tracking dogs and all this other shit. And they can get in foxholes or whatever the fuck. Most of these dogs are probably dying in the wilderness. A Chihuahua, Terrier, French Bulldog, anything that is really small is probably dying in the wilderness. So for the example that we're using, we're going to say, or for most of this argument, we're going to use a Labrador or a Golden Retriever. Now, I believe, I have notes here. Historically, dogs and humans were bred, or not dogs and humans. Dogs were bred to be human companions. This started out when they had the same ancestors as wolves, and humans had a, utility friendship going on with dogs, where we benefited off of each other. We had extra food left over that they would eat. They would provide protection and hunt alongside of us. And then that is kind of how the friendship between humans and dogs started. Now, the key difference between a human and a dog is their capacity to survive based on their biology alone. The average human put in a survival scenario with just their hands without the capacity to make tools would die in the wilderness. They wouldn't be able to fight. They wouldn't be able to hunt. They wouldn't be able to gather. They wouldn't be able to make fire. If you're not able to make tools, humans are useless. They're weak and they're not, we're smart creatures, but we're only good at surviving in the top of our food chain because of our, intelligence. And you could say that could pan into the fight, and that's true that we have a strategic advantage, but dogs are fucking built to kill. They're built to live. Yes, Labradors and Golden Retrievers are happy family dogs that for the most part are not, gruesome killing machines. They're not fighting dogs like fucking, not pit bulls. Well, pit bulls, yeah. But they're not fighting dogs. But still, in this scenario where we are blood hungry against them, they are going to revert to their animalistic scenarios. Or animalistic tendencies. Our animalistic tendencies are worse than theirs. On top of that, we're going to do a little pros and cons list. Humans, smarter, bigger by weight. The average human is going to weigh more than the average dog. Weaker by weight. Pound for pound, dogs are more efficient. They're better at fighting, okay? Their weight that they have is just purely for survival. You're a nerd? I don't give a fuck, loser. Shut up. We have arms and opposable thumbs. We have the capacity to attack in many ways, okay? Dogs, what they lack in weight, they have in efficiency. They're faster. They're better at natural ability to fight, and they have bite force, which is also its downside in that it is its only fighting mechanic is biting. They're not going to punch you. They have paws, okay? But let's pan out a scenario here for the people that say they're going to kill the average dog. How do you plan on killing the dog? I'm going to break it. I'm going to punch it. Okay. Dogs have craniums that are biologically made to withstand more force than that of another animal. You're not snapping its neck. Let's pan out a scenario where you try to punch it. A dog. Have you ever played with a dog? Have you ever fought with a dog? Puppies specifically do this, but dogs in general. When you play with a dog, they snarl. They go like this. And they show their teeth, and they'll fake bite at you. And they're really hard. When you try to get around their neck, they're really good at turning their head. They train themselves for fun, right, playing to fight. If you get in a fight with a dog, say you get on top of it, and you start punching it, it's going to turn its head to meet your fist. It's going to bite you. And when it bites you, it's going to break whatever it bit. This is the average bite force of some of the biggest dogs. Now, a Golden Retriever has around a 2 to 250. It depends on the Golden Retriever or Labrador. They have 190 to 250 bite force. Kangles are shattering your limbs. If you fought a Kangal and it attacks you, the thing that it latches onto is breaking. The same could be said about a Mastiff, Akita, or a Rottweiler, okay? And they're going to shake. They're going to grab onto your arm, and they're going to go, and it's going to fucking rip your flesh off your fucking arm that fast. Now, a Golden Retriever, maybe not as, efficient, but the second it bites onto you, and it's blood hungry, and it's angry, it's not getting off of that. Now, the best strategy that I would say in fighting a dog to the death is taking a sacrifice. One for the fucking team, okay? You're not getting this dog. Somebody said rear naked choke. I'm kicking the shit out of it. It's going to jump on you. It doesn't matter if it weighs less. I shoot it. You ruin these hypotheticals. Well, I'm going to take out my gun and shoot it. You're not allowed a gun, dumbass. This is a bare fist fight. This is bare knuckle. You got your fists and that's it. You're barefoot. You ain't wearing shoes. You're not allowed to wear fucking steel-toed boots. You're wearing a t-shirt and shorts, and you're fucking fighting this thing to the death. I'm gonna shoot it. You're not shooting the dog. Okay. A lot of people said rear naked choke. The problem is, yes, you could kill the dog by hitting it in the head, right? What is the dog's kill point for you to win in this hypothetical scenario? Hitting it in its head, choking it, punching it. You're not really going to kill the dog by punching it in its back legs. That'll demobilize it, yeah, but it's not really going to hurt it in terms of killing the animal. How you're going to kill the animal is either bludgeoning it to death or choking the animal, snapping its neck. The problem is its kill points are also its strongest advantage points. Where you need to kill the dog is where it is biting you. That its best weapon is where it's weakest, which you could say, oh, is a disadvantage for the dog. But while you're trying to punch the dog, it's going to be biting your hands. When you're trying to rear naked choke the dog and you're like this, the dog's face is right here. What is it going to latch onto? When you're in a fucking, you got your legs around its legs and you're fucking holding it in a choke slam. Yeah, if you try to close its mouth, maybe it's gonna fucking bite your throat. What else do I have to say? I have notes here. I was getting angry thinking about this. Okay, another factor. The average human, overweight, obese, unathletic, and can't fight. I'm not saying, do you think you could beat a dog in a fight? I'm saying the average human, specifically in the United States, is obese, weak, and incapable of fighting. Yes, they could belly flop onto the dog, but the average 5'10" male in the United States, if you're pulling just a random guy and you do this test 1,000 times, I think out of 1,000 average human versus average dog matchups, the dog wins 70% of the time. Humans are smarter. That's their advantage. But in a closed room where you are not able to use, like, I'm saying this fight to the death is just like UFC rules, okay? Not UFC rules, but you're in a UFC arena. You're fighting this dog. You're not in an open field or you're not able to grab an item and fucking start hitting it in the head. You have your fists versus the dog's fucking teeth. And that dog is killing you 70% of the time. Now, I think that, to put it in perspective, editor, if this becomes a YouTube video, flash up a picture of my dog, Daisy. My dog, love her to death, okay? I think I'd kill my dog in a fight to the death. My dog's a golden retriever. She weighs 65 pounds. She's a golden retriever. Very sweet dog. Below average weight for a golden retriever. Not technically the average medium-sized dog. But I think she would fucking do some damage to me. I think Daisy, while she is smaller, would still fuck you up. I think even if you win, that dog might do irreversible damage to you. Because even if you kill it, you could kick the dog. Have you ever seen a dog run into a door or fall down the stairs? They just get up. Humans don't get up, usually, that quick. Yes, you're both blood hungry, but you're saying the best thing you could do, yeah, try and keep it far away. You kick the dog in the head, it's probably not being that phased. If you fight a German Shepherd or a Golden Retriever or a Labrador, you kick that dog, it's probably getting up. It's probably getting up, and it's probably not even really being that phased. Ask ChatGPT, brother. Like, ChatGPT is going to be able to tell me a definitive answer here. Now, one more thing I wanted to focus on here. I have images to use. Any of these dogs, you lose every single time. Unless you are Brian Shaw and you're 6'10", you're losing. If you're below 6'2", you are losing to anything that is 7 and above. And I would even say you're probably losing to a Belgian Malinois or Malinois. Have you ever seen one of those things fucking run at people? Belgian Malaninoi jumping.
Come on. That was way too easy for you.
Bro,
right, come on, get in here.
They're athletic. They're athletic. Hold up. Belgian Malaninoi attack. Here it is. This is what's going to happen when you guys face off. Not even necessarily with this dog. Just an average dog. It's going to run at you. Look at how it folded that motherfucker! Oh my God! He was ready to. He was ready to. He was standing there. He was standing there. He toppled him over. They're fucking fast, dude. They're quick. They're quick. And it's getting you. Have you ever played Tug of War with a dog? That dog is latching onto your arm and yanking it like it's a rope. It's all that what a dog's not thinking, right? The dog's just attacking. But you got to keep in mind, these things are hardwired for survival. All they're thinking is, I need to kill you. And they're going to manically and shake on different body parts. You're going to start bleeding. They're going to fracture your bones. You're losing a limb or two. If your imagine, okay, you sacrifice your arm and you start punching it, okay? You get a few good hits off. You damage the dog a little bit. It latches off. Your left arm is now fucked. You're not using that arm anymore unless you're flailing around like a noodle, like a fucking pool noodle, okay? That arm's unusable. You now have one arm and two legs. It's now going to go for a different body part, maybe your neck, maybe your other arm, maybe your leg. And if it pierces your skin in a vital spot, you're dead. You can't pierce this dog's skin. That's your losing, not advantage. That's your disadvantage as a human. It is going to bite and pierce your skin, which is what's protecting you. You're not piercing that dog's skin. You're either punching it to death or fighting it and choking it. Okay? And you got to think, what is the average human strategy fighting this animal? If I throw Stan, who works an office job and is 33 years old, what the fuck is he doing against that dog? Nothing. He's going to box it. That's a terrible strategy. Boxing the dog is the dumbest thing that you could do. And in this scenario, you're pulling like a 2 to 3 year old fully grown average dog versus what? Prime Belgian Malaninoi versus 25 to 32-year-old man or woman, right? Like peak athleticism. That's you. Most people peak athletically 25 to 30, okay? You're doing taekwondo kicks. If you know mixed martial arts, you're not an average human. The debate is average humans, not people. We're not talking about fucking, Valentina Shevchenko, okay? We're not talking about fucking Khabib. This is not me bringing in whether or not fucking Paddy Pimblett, Paddy the Baddy, would beat a dog in a fight. No shit he would. All he's been doing is fighting since he's been 16 years old. Those guys are fucking killing machines. They have literally perfected the art of using their limbs. The average person has never been in a fight and never had to fight for survival. They're dying. That's all. There was another one about 100 humans versus a gorilla. More interesting debate. 100 humans versus one silverback gorilla. Another thing, you got to go, if in the dog and the gorilla debate, if there is fear involved, the humans lose every time. Because the dog defensively is more likely to attack than run. A human is more likely to run than attack. And if a human turns on a dog, it's going to know it has the advantage and it's killing you. So in both of these scenarios, people have to be blood hungry. 100 humans versus one silverback gorilla, who wins? The gorilla. I think that's more of a diff. I think the gorilla beats 100 humans easier than the dog versus one human. That's not an L take. I just did a whole rant about, okay, the average gorilla can pick up 1,700 pounds of dead weight and has a bite force PSI of 1,300, twice that of a Kangol. If a gorilla bites you, anywhere that it bites you, it is shattering that limb. It could bite on your thigh and it's breaking it in half. It can pick up dead weight, 1,700 pounds. You're going to step on its neck. It weighs 430 pounds and it's agile. They can run very quickly. Okay, let's do the hypothetical matchup between 100 humans and a gorilla. The first 5 to 10 people, fucked. Okay, 100 humans. I'm not saying 100 average humans where you're pulling 100 people that are 5'10". 100 random individuals across the United States that aren't children. So you're going to get some people that are 4'10", 6'5", 100 pounds, 180 pounds, 400 pounds, and you're not allowed to strategize. You all just spawn in and you run at the gorilla. Who's winning? Men only or women too? Men and women, even mix. Average. Probably more women than men if you're pulling 100 random people because there's more women in the world than men. The gorilla's winning. I think because how are the humans killing the gorilla? Humans, similar to dogs, but even more so, have craniums that are meant to withstand bludgeoning force. Gorillas' brain structure, why their heads look so fucking weird. You're not punching a gorilla to death. Okay? You cannot, it doesn't matter if you have 100 humans simultaneously punching that gorilla. It's going to move. Okay? If you body pile and you mosh pit on top of this gorilla, it's probably just going to move. You're not getting enough humans on top of this gorilla in an efficient, stacked manner to where it's weighing it down. You're not. They're kind of fucking huge. They're 430 pounds. They're big. Look at his arms. That's what I'm saying. You're not getting, like, if you want to grab a gorilla's arms, you're going like this. You have one guy going like this, and guess what he's going to do? You could anchor your body. You could get not even me. I weigh 176 pounds. You could get a big-ass man, 300 pounds, to wrap his entire body around that gorilla. That gorilla, with one arm, is going, and flailing that guy like he's on a fucking Six Flags ride. He's, oh my God. It is, chat, utter annihilation. If fear's involved in this, okay, let's go back to no blood hungry in this scenario. 100 humans versus a gorilla. The first 6 people are getting actually annihilated. Full fucking boxed. 200 pumped to the head. The gorilla is killing 5 people in 10 seconds. If it's blood hungry, like when they stand up like straight and they're like, and they fucking hit their chest and they're angry. Oh, fucked. Dude, and then everybody else is running. That's what's happening. Say they're blood hungry though. I think the last 20 people are going to wear down the gorilla a little bit because, you know, it's going to be taking some damage, even if it's like, you know, 1 HP ticks. Those add up. But the first 80 people are cooked. I think if you're allowed to strategize, what you do is you send the smallest people out first to let the gorilla murder them as bait, okay? So if I was allowed to strategize in this hypothetical 100 people versus 1 gorilla, I'm taking the smallest people and chucking them at the gorilla. I'm sacrificing them for the fucking greater good here because the gorilla is going to be distracted by them, and then you get the 4 biggest guys to latch on to all of the limbs of the gorilla, and you just have fucking 8 guys, 10 guys at once just start punching. Just till their fists break. Just right in his chest, in his fucking face. Tear out his eyes. Like, make it so he can't see. Shit like that. We should watch a gorilla fighting video. Hold up. And the thing that changed, the reason I think the gorilla's winning against 100 humans too is because gorillas are smart, right? They're going to be thinking. Dogs, 1v1 against a dog, it's going, I just need to kill you. A gorilla, while it's angry and blood hungry, is still having some sort of logic where it's going, I'm outnumbered, what can I do? Even though it's not saying that in its head, it's recognizing that it's at a disadvantage numerically and needs to do something about it. It might start using the smallest human as a weapon. Orangutans craft spears. Gorillas know how to use stuff. It might grab the fucking smallest guy there and just start swinging him. Like actually just start fucking like throwing them. And he doesn't even have to kill everybody immediately. If the gorilla punches you or slams you and you pass out, you're not dead, but you're out of the fight. He's just gonna come cleanup crew you later. Oh, fuck no, dude. Okay, do you think you could beat a gorilla in a fight with, like, a spear? No. You would need a gun. To kill a gorilla in a fight, you would need, like, an automatic weapon. Not in a one-on-one. A spear, you're gonna stab it. Yeah, you're gonna hurt it. It's just gonna go, break it, and then punch you or bite onto your fucking head. Like a gorilla could probably open its mouth enough to where it could bite your head. Back to the dog debate. Dog versus human, who wins? A man in his prime, 6 feet tall and a medium muscular versus a German Shepherd, the dog also in its prime. Which one wins? No way the human loses. The only real disadvantages you have as a person, your regular person has its teeth/bite strength and willingness to actually hurt something. No. If you throw, if they're not, the people on Reddit are arguing about whether or not a human or a dog would win, and you're just throwing them into a room. The average fear factor of an animal versus a human, humans are pussies. You're getting so scared. You could tell me whatever the hell you want, chat, that like you're gonna fucking beat the shit out of the golden retriever, the Labrador, or German Shepherd. The second you're in a room and it's snarling and going, and it's doing that fucking noise that they make, and it's drooling, like, and you see have you ever seen a dog show all of its teeth and it's drooling? It is terrifying to witness that. And they make that, and you hear them snap. You hear them go. You hear that noise, but louder. And their teeth are all sharp. The second it bites you, dude, whatever it bites, it's breaking. You versus a chimp. That's not even that's a stupid hypothetical. All of these are dumb hypotheticals at the end of the day, because it's like, these would never happen. But like a chimp versus a human, dude, chimpanzees are so strong. Same thing with a gorilla. I didn't mention this. Gorillas are so strong. They have like 500 PSI, grip strength. They could like, meaning pounds per square inch. A chimpanzee and a gorilla, a chimpanzee has historically, this is an actual thing, grabbed its owner's arms so strong when it was angry that it broke their arms. If a chimpanzee, doesn't matter if the chimpanzee's 60 pounds. If a chimpanzee grabs you, you're dead. It's going to grab your arms. If its arms grab your arms, you're dead. Because it's going to go and fucking just squeeze. And then it's gonna snap your arms. And then you're literally like fucking goddamn, you're gonna look like Flat Stanley at the end of that. It's gonna jump on you. All Might for the Sub King for the 3. LeBron versus 1 gorilla. LeBron dies. I think LeBron beats a dog. Most dogs. I think LeBron loses to a Kangol because Kangols kill wolves. What if 100 Brian Shaws in his prime versus gorilla? Brian Shaws win. Brian Shaws but he's not an average person. He's one of the strongest men that have ever lived. Alton Flexen for the Sub Caleb for the 3. Pretty sure you're being attacked by a dog and it bites your arm. You're supposed to shove your fist down its throat to suffocate it and make it let go. That's a strategy. See, most people don't know that though. That's a strategy. You kill it by sacrificing your own arm and choking it to death. Shoving your whole fist down its throat so it can't breathe. Wow. That's a good strategy. It would bite down. The reason that's ineffective is if it bites down and you try to shove your fist down its throat and it bites before you're at its throat, here up is dead. Here up is gone. See that running at dodge, get on top of it. I'm going to tackle it, whatever, get it on its back, start punching it as hard as I can, break its ribs. You're not going to do that though. It's going to be actively biting you while you're trying to punch its ribs out. Even if you try to get on its neck and say you sit on the dog's head, it's going to be squirming. Anyways, conclusion. I think the dog beats the human, average human versus average dog. I'd say 70% of the time the dog wins if you did 100 fights. I think 100 humans versus 1 gorilla. I think the gorilla wins 75% of the time. Let me know what you think in the YouTube comments. Not now. You guys already just told me what you think.